From cancelled streaming deals to failed lawsuits, backtrack claims of racism to toxic tell-all books, it's fair to say that 2023 has been a year the Sussexes would rather forget. Since swapping the monarchy for Montecito, Harry and Meghan's life away from the royal family has been nothing short of a disaster. As they look forward to the new year and hopefully a fresh start, we're looking back at a year they'd rather leave behind. At the start of the year, the couple were encouraged to hand back their Human Rights Award, a huge U-turn.
All I would say on this, they've just collected an honour for exposing the institutional racism in the royal family in America. They collected it, and it was for that. Oh, the word racism was remembered. If that are now saying it's about unconscious bias, which it may well be, if I may finish, then give the award back.
In February, the lead-up to the King's coronation didn't include Meghan, causing Prince Harry to feel torn between his wife and family.
One is going to be winging its way, we are told, to Montecito, to Harry and Meghan. The ball then in their court. Russell, do they come? Do they come together?
Well, big question, all still talking about it. I mean, I've been told that they've just this week, they've still made no decision. They are undecided, and someone close to Harry...
It feels a bit reminiscent of the Platinum Jubilee, didn't it? It went down to the wire.
Someone spoke who knows Harry very well said that he's undecided for the very reason that nothing has changed. I mean, you saw the interviews that he was giving during the publicising of his book, Spare, by saying he wants to sit down with his father and his brother. He wants them to reconcile with him, saying the ball is in their court. Well, there's been no discussions directly about that. There's been no discussions about whether they will attend. So,
during March, we saw Meghan absent from several royal events, whilst the royal pair were adamant that their children retained their royal titles.
I mean, this issue of their titles has been a vexed one for a long time, hasn't it, Russell? I mean, you look back to the Oprah interview where Meghan claimed that Archie wasn't given a title because of concerns about his skin colour, which wasn't the case, actually. It was all down to the letters patent.
Yeah, I mean, it's another big U-turn, I think, but most people would think of it as that. I mean, they said those comments about race, which they have now rode back on, which they could have set totally clear at any point in the last year, and didn't do. And the royal family were having to face serious questions of a racist within their midst. Of course, Prince William said it publicly, the royal family is not a racist family. And I think we got a flavour that they didn't want titles for their children, and yet here we are. I mean, I think it's they're turning into a bit of a ludicrous pantomime, the two of them.
In April, it was a case of will they, won't they, as coronation organisers waited to hear whether Meghan Markle and Prince Harry would be in attendance.
I think it weakens Harry and Meghan because actually if they don't come to the coronation, they don't re-burnish their royal brand. What does that then give them, trying to make money in LA?
You have to sort of think, given what's happened in the past, or what we've learned really in the past 6 months about the nature of the relationship Harry has, is that probably the best time to find out whether he's coming or not will be the morning itself. It's that much, whichever way the wind blows. I'm fairly confident Harry will be invited from a father to a son.
Yeah, it would look churlish, really, not to invite him to that particular moment.
It's a pretty big moment, and of course, if Harry isn't invited, full stop. Well, that's a statement. I'm king now, and you are no longer part of my kingdom in any shape or form.
Meanwhile, in May, as we celebrated the King's coronation, Prince Harry and Meghan narrowly missed a car catastrophe. But speculations ran about the couple's account.
Prince Harry, Meghan and her mother Doria were involved in a near-catastrophic car chase involving the paparazzi on Tuesday night. The incident happened after the Duke and Duchess of Sussex left an awards ceremony in New York. This all emerged on Wednesday afternoon, Matt, with this very dramatic statement from the Sussex team of this relentless pursuit and what was described as a near catastrophic car chase. I don't know about you, but when I saw those words, my heart was in my mouth thinking, oh my goodness, what has happened now?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because what happened to Diana, or his mother obviously, but also Harry has said in the past that he fears history could repeat itself. The story slightly unravelled over the next couple of hours. It was quite a hyperbolic statement that maybe the Sussexes put out, suggesting that it was near catastrophic. The police and official police sources and also some of the people involved have given slightly different stories. I mean, the thing for me is that they, it appears now that they've been treated like celebrities in America. They're being chased by paparazzi. It's quite clear that a chase did actually happen.
June began with the American audience calling out the couple's missed opportunity at the Spotify deal, which was solidified by the ESPN anchor Stephen A. Smith's rant.
Other of their setbacks recently should be taken with more of a pinch of salt. So when Spotify parted company with them, obviously it did reflect to a certain extent the way they felt that Harry and Meghan hadn't produced enough content. But Spotify has been having problems with their podcasts. They're moving away from the idea of celebrity-driven podcasts.
Even the Obamas found it difficult.
Yeah, so I think it reflects as much Spotify that as Harry and Meghan. But also, I think that when that Spotify executive was extremely critical, I mean, it was very entertaining how he called them grifters and so on. But he was someone who's already been critical of them. So that was not shifting sands. That was someone who was already against Harry and Meghan. So I think you have to kind of weigh up all these things quite subtly.
Meghan and Prince Harry struggled for joy as Meghan was encouraged to act solo in an attempt to resurrect her career.
Rolling Stone magazine are the latest publication to have their say on the Sussexes. They are reportedly, according to the magazine, in their flop era. It claimed part of the issue the Sussexes are currently facing is that they have made their brand about their beef with the royal family. Now their feud has reached a stalemate and it feels like there isn't much more to say. This follows on from Bloomberg, from the Wall Street Journal. I'm kind of losing count on these kind of big publications going for Harry and Meghan.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, what is the flop era? What is the flop era to Rolling Stone? I mean, I think that they're right in saying that they are not going to talk about their time in the royal family anymore. I think they've done that.
American icon and activist Ice Cube made a bold statement that Harry and Meghan should have stuck it out instead of stepping back from their royal duties.
So there's a lot still going on from Team Sussex. They're definitely not going away, but maybe what we're going to see is some actual impactful work from them rather than playing out the same old story.
So we think that, last week the rumours of a Netflix film dramatising what happened during Megxit, that's on ice?
I would probably think that's on ice for now. I would hope it's on ice for now.
September began with royal biographer Andrew Morton accusing Meghan of refusing to curtsy to Princess Catherine.
I actually personally think that, I can see why Harry would want a base here. This was pretty embarrassing last time he came over to do the well-being child thing. And then there was the whole problem about where is he going to stay? What's he going to do? Is he with the king? And so I think I can see a reason for him. I just don't see that, from what we hear, Meghan's in the slightest bit interested in coming to the UK. I think she's made her mind up. She's going to base where she is and is happy where she is.
As we entered autumn, Meghan and Harry had to navigate a tricky lawsuit from Samantha Markle and were given a lukewarm reception in New York.
Harry and Meghan will have to be grilled by Samantha Markle's lawyers. Is this a bad look, whatever the outcome?
That's a good question, actually. This is really what Harry and Meghan wanted to avoid, and actually what they tried to stop is them being interviewed on video by Samantha Markle's lawyers in this case. And to be honest, I think it's a bad look for everybody involved. I think, Harry and Meghan have probably got to the point now, especially when it comes to Samantha Markle, that they just don't want anything to do with it. They said there that they don't think this has any place in court. And also, we heard in their biography, in their Netflix documentary, that the tech company Bot Sentinel found that there was quite a number of hate accounts on Twitter that were created by Samantha Markle. Now, she's denied it. She said that she has been hacked. But Chris Bowsey and Bot Sentinel said that, she was behind a number of these hate accounts.
November marked the beginning of Christmas plans, and it looked like there was no table available at Royal Sandringham.
Well, it's the King's
birthday next week. He's going to be 75 on the 14th of November. And there have been reports that Harry and Meghan have been snubbed for the King's 75th birthday party. Their spokesperson said no invite was actually extended to them in the first place. What does this tell us about the state of the relationship between these two camps?
They're estranged. Harry and Meghan are estranged from Harry's family, and there is no relationship anymore, which I think is very sad, honestly. I would love to see them patch things up. I'd love to see them repair the relationship. And I'd love to see, I think Harry and William sitting down together is a very long way off. I'd like to see Harry and Charles, sit down and see if they can work out their differences and forge some kind of a stronger, better relationship. But obviously so much has been said and so much has happened, so much went into Harry's book. There's a lot of ill will and a lot of bad blood there to work through.
And as this year drew to a close, the Archwell Foundation suffered an £8.7 million drop in donations.
I think this is great. Harry and Meghan crowned biggest losers by Hollywood Bible after being slammed for moaning and having written a whiny biography. And this is also on the back of the news that the Archwell Foundation is losing a bucket load of money because nobody wants to give them any more.
£9 million less in donations than last year.
Well, do you know, my theory, as I said to Jenny Bond, is that he probably put that money in himself.
Yeah, well, it's two big donors, so it could be
he could be one
those
of them.
two. Yeah.
Because if you were trying to get a charity going and you had a load of money, you wouldn't want it to look as if you didn't get any donors. So you'd go, we better either get some of our friends to give some money or maybe we should.